welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Gina and I'm just doing another comic haul for y'all. I got quite a stack this week. Two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I bought 8 comics. Four of them were pickups. Just that I was already subscribed to have them pulled for me. And the other four, some of them like I already knew I wanted to pick up. Actually, I think there's only one I knew I wanted to pick up. And then the others was like I talked with the comic shop owner and he kind of convinced me to get a few other ones, a couple other ones, and one I saw because I love the cover. It lied to me, but we'll get to that in a moment. So let's discuss. I read a few of them, mainly those that were like number ones. So here's my haul, right? Let's see if I can. This is my haul. And yeah, I'm just gonna start with what I didn't read so far, and we're gonna go over that. So, Harley and Ivy, Life and Crimes. This is issue number 5. This series is going over how Harley and Ivy met and their relationship, how that formed. Um, it's really cute. It's written and drawn by Erica Henderson. So, I'm just kind of like, I don't know, I'm in awe of it. There was another cover alternative at the shop, but I actually like this one and I didn't want to pay a little extra to get like a different one because I think it was one of those that like a harder cover. So I haven't read this one yet, so we're gonna see how this goes. But I definitely think this will be really good. So I'm looking forward to reading this. And then we got Poison Ivy issue 45. So right now we're still in her mayor era. Um, this series is also going really well. I'm kind of intrigued with how it's going to continue. I haven't read the issue before this, and that's why I haven't read this issue of it because I haven't read 44 yet. And I think it's interesting because it's tying in with the other DC series from what I have been told and heard. So I am intrigued indeed with how this is going to end up, but this is what I got. So that's Poison Ivy issue 45. And then I got Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant issue number 5 as well. So this series so far, mixed opinions on whether it's good or not. It's not bad. The last issue um, cleared up a little bit. Like it made a little more sense than some of the other issues I was reading. I'm hoping this one will make even more sense. But like if you see here, it's like in the Eternal Storm saga, it gives you little bits of like what's been going on. And I think it's like in I don't know, it's just kind of explaining it should be, but I don't know. It's just kind of it's a little over the place right now. It's like different timelines. It feels like, but alas, I'm still pulling it because I think it's like interesting at the bare minimum. It's just it's not amazing to me right now. So I I don't particularly recommend this series just yet, but we'll see how I feel. Like issue 1 was really good. After that was kind of just like I don't know how I feel about it. Then we had issue 4 of X-Men of Apocalypse. This is a series going on about like the alternative timelines of the Uncanny X-Men and Xavier's X-Men, and how they're both trying to fix and make their timeline the true one. So that's what this series is, and right now they're all back in time, or various times in the past, and I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued with how this is going to go because Cyclops did not return, if I recall correctly, in like the previous ones. But we'll see. We shall see. So that's that. And then I got Aerotech. I don't really know what this is about other than it's for adults only. So it's like it I can't even show like it's pretty the inside of it definitely is censored, like needs to be censored if you want to show it. Well, maybe not so much, but it's just kind of like I don't know. The comic shop owner kind of like explained it pretty well for me, but I still don't quite know what's going on other than it's like a woman in a workplace that's like doesn't get her advice listened to, of course, and she's in like an industry that is what's the word for it? Not scandalous, but like um an adult business. So like that's all I know. A woman that's in that business and she doesn't get her like when she advises what they should do, they don't listen to her. So there's that. Now moving on to what I have read, which are these three. So Barbara Gordon Breakout is actually it did not come out this week. It came out last week, I think, or the week before that. Like this is not a new one, but they're still like you could get a print of it. And the comic shop owner was like, "You should read this. It's actually pretty good, though not nearly as many people probably are getting it as the sellers are thinking." Like the providers, the distributors, not necessarily like the comic book shop owners themselves. So, but he highly recommended it. And I only know a little bit what's going on in the absolute DC worlds and the all in DC worlds because I'm like reading Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy and a little bit of Wonder Woman thus far. So I don't know that much, but this seems it actually was good. I do recommend it, especially if you're like all in the DC universe. I think this would be a really good read for y'all. So this is something to consider, I would say. Um, I feel like it's going to give extra background information, if anything. So I think if you're really highly invested in the DC universe storylines right now, this is probably a good like extra pickup. And then I read What If the Uncanny X-Men. This is if Cyclops stayed with Madeline Pryor. I want to say that's how her first name is pronounced. Um, and their child, and you just kind of see how what the results are. Hence the what if. Um, it was good. I would say it's pretty good, but I don't know. I could definitely see why it was a what if, but I was like, wow, okay, this is what would happen if this happened. That's crazy. And that was a lot riding on the decision of what Cyclops would do. So, definitely interesting read. I don't want to say they exaggerated, but it feels like over the top. But you never know. Like it's always like one little decision it cannonballs all these other things. So I can see it happening. It's just like wow, okay. And then I read this. So on the front it says Cosmic Firebird Phoenix versus Robot Monster Mecha Godzilla. Like I didn't pick up the back or anything. It seemed pretty straightforward what it was titled. And the cover is fire. but it's actually part of the Godzilla Infinity War series, and it's issue 5. Um, and silly me, didn't look at the back because I was like, the title is on the front. Um, I knew it had to do with Godzilla, but I totally forgot about the whole series that's going on. But even so, I think it's still kind of misleading for it to give the like a separate title because Phoenix wasn't even in it. That like really bothered me because the whole reason I got it was for her. Because I do appreciate Godzilla, like his storyline and whatever, but I wouldn't have picked this up otherwise. I will be honest. But it, from what I read in it, I think this is probably an interesting series. Like I only read this issue, it's issue 5, and the next issue I think is the last issue. But I don't think this is a necessary pick unless you really want to read about Godzilla. And if you're like me and you end up seeing this cover, Phoenix is not in it. So there you go. And that's all that I got and what I read. So my haul for the week, and I think I have some to pick up next week, but I normally do. I normally do. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you'll find something that you like. Maybe you were not misled by this title. Um, I don't know. I hope for the best for y'all, and I hope something piqued your interest, maybe. So, okay, that's it. Until next time, bye.